What's up, guys? I'm Joe. Today I'm talking about the new 30 Seconds to Mars album, America. So 30 Seconds to Mars is back with America, their fifth studio album, a band that is led by actor and musician Jared Leto, who is most recently known for being a really bad, weird Joker, and apparently he wants to continue the trend by making bad music as well. Well, that's quite the way to start things. So yeah, this album's called America, though you would not really know this by the album cover, which features a number of, sex positions or acts or whatever. I'm not so sure about face. Which already, right off the bat, threw me off about this thing, because I had seen some article, I didn't really read it that much, or look into it that much, but Leto has been talking about how, this album, America, is supposed to represent our country right now, or, a day in the life of America. He'd been working on, a documentary or something like that as well. And with the kind of joke of an album cover, I don't really know how that melds together, unless he's trying to say, America's not looking too good right now, or I don't know if this is trying to appeal to people that would find this funny. I don't really know. Because the thing about this is, I feel like the type of people that you're going to appeal to with this album cover are not going to be interested in this music at all. I don't know who's going to be really interested in this music, because it's one of the most boring albums I've heard since I started reviewing on this channel. In fact, maybe the album cover is perfect for this album, because much like when you first look at the cover, when you start listening to this, you'll find yourself going, what? Huh? So what's going on here? Let's dive into some of these tracks. It starts with Walk on Water, easily one of the better songs on here. Kind of anthemic, which is what we've heard from them in the past, but, missing any of the sort of alternative rock, guitar-driven energy of their first couple of records. Albums like Such Is a Beautiful Lie, I absolutely loved back in the day, but, they've gotten lighter and lighter since then, and at this point have really just abandoned any sort of alternative rock outlet. What I find particularly odd about Walk on Water, though, is that, I don't know if you guys saw The Greatest Showman. It was a musical starring Hugh Jackman. Came out towards the end of last year. I think Jared Leto saw it. This song really sounds like that soundtrack to me for some reason. Now, granted, The Greatest Showman had music that would appeal to the modern sort of pop sense, so drew elements from that. And this is obviously doing that as well. But there's something just specific about this with, the backing vocals and, the chanting type thing, that it just feels like it comes right off The Greatest Showman soundtrack. Up next, Dangerous Night. Starts off okay, I guess. It's a little dark, it's a little weird, but then out of nowhere, just totally out of nowhere, you get this, chorus, this poppy bubblegum chorus that sounds like it's ripped right off of a Katy Perry album. And what you're getting here is something that is totally prevalent throughout the entire album, which is just an overload of whoa. More woes than you could possibly ever want or need are on this album. Specifically on this song, it is just an overload, like I said. Literally, it gets to the point where Leto's vocal lines in the chorus feature a lot of woes, and the background vocals are doing a different kind of woe. And it's just way too much for me to possibly handle. Up next, Rescue Me introduces you to basically what's going to happen for the rest of the album, which is just a pretty slow, pretty tired, pretty boring synth pop electric type sound, I guess. What I will say about this track is I kind of like Leto's vocals. His pipes sound kind of worn out, and I think, just kind of imagine that with a guitar-driven background. It could be pretty cool, kind of like a tortured sound. But of course, we did not get anything like that on here. Definitely one of the weirdest things on this album. You get to the chorus, it drops into this very low-energy, boring chorus once again. But there's this high-pitched, vocal auto-tuned line, something like that. And I swear it sounds like they're saying buttered up snails. We could even listen to it. I'll prove it to you. I do not want to know in the comments what the actual lyric is. For me, it is buttered up snails. Make it a thing. # buttered up snails. You might as well just hit the subscribe button, because this is the kind of quality musical analysis you get on this channel. The fun continues on One Track Mind. It comes up next. Obviously, Jared Leto, we know you have a one-track mind. Everything on this album sounds exactly the same. This one really just continues the slow, just dying feel of the album. And then you get the chorus, and there's this high-pitched electronic thing. I don't know what it is, but it gives Young and Menace a huge run for its money for just being totally annoying and something that only dogs folks can hear. And the A$AP Rocky feature is barely even worth mentioning, much like the Halsey one. You know, pulling in some like bigger names and just having them contribute barely anything. I mean, it's just very, low to the ground, boring, kind of barely cameos. Moving on, we have Monolith, which is interesting to me. Again, you want to talk about 2017 soundtracks. This sounds like something right out of Blade Runner 2049, and I know Leto saw that one because he is in it. Side note, Blade Runner 2049, fantastic movie. I can't recommend it highly enough. But the soundtrack featuring music from Hans Zimmer, someone we are very familiar with at this point, and this song really sounds like that. It sounds like a Hans Zimmer soundtrack. It even has the Inception booms coming in. And it's easily one of the best and most exciting things on here, and it really starts to get some energy going. I got a little excited for what was coming next. It's called Love is Madness. It could be something kind of cool. And it's another slow, boring song, of course. But yeah, more kind of boring, synth-poppy, electronic-infused stuff, more woes, all the woes you could possibly ever want. Great Wide Open, not too bad. I kind of like this one. It has a gospel-y, arena rock kind of feel to it. It's got all the woes and stuff like that, but, not a bad track overall, though I do think it overstays its welcome. It's a little too long for what it is, but really not a terrible one. One of the better songs on here, easily. Hail to the Victor does something, again, that I think a lot of these songs do, which is once you get to the chorus, it feels like you have a bit of a build-up, and then it just sucks the energy totally dry. It's got this, big, loud, wobbly bass coming in, but just it doesn't do anything for the track. It doesn't give it any sort of energy at all. And songs such as Dawn Will Rise, Live Like a Dream, Rider, there really just isn't much to say at all. Rider is kind of cool with the sort of cinematic elements again going in. They explore it just a little bit on this album, like that, and Monolith definitely would have been more interesting for me to hear more of that on here. But yeah, those three tracks, just more of the same, more of what you've heard already throughout that record. Remedy, easily the best song on here, and Jared Leto is not even slightly involved. The impression I get from this song, and even towards the end of Dawn Will Rise, where the drums, real drums, finally break through the mix, and it's a bit of a kind of trippy Radiohead-ish section, I guess. I just get the idea that the rest of the band wants to be a band still, and Jared Leto, he's got this plan for what he thinks the band should be. Like I said, I don't really know who this album is going to appeal to. So yeah, I think I've said all I could say about this album. I'm feeling a 0.69 out of 5 for this one. I think it's fitting given the album cover, but you know what, we'll round that one up to a 1 for consistency's sake. So I'm giving this album a 1 out of 5. Let me know what you think in the comments, whether I'm right, whether I'm totally wrong, who knows. And yeah, as always, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I'll see you all next time.